I have to bounce in a minute, but I wanted to get this question in. Um, People that have the same name, people
Mm,
that, it's like when you compete, you're like,
hmm
I got onto a lot of the major sites, like my .mac, my email address is my full name. And I
mm,
come across like when you're typing your name into a new website and you want your username to be yours and you're like, somebody's got it.
right.
What's interesting, what I was curious about is there any strategy that can, I know you're going to get into ranking and some of those other things, but you know, there's so many John Smiths out there. There's not many Paul Kirchhoffs out there. There's not that many Lynn Fishers, but I tend to be competing with a bunch of
Mm.
tiny Asian women.
Uh,
So, um,
Interesting.
well, but my differentiation in that sea of like, similarities is that I'm a guy, and
Yeah.
most of those names are associated with women. So if you look at images, you can more easily pick me out. But I'm
hmm
just curious, is there anything to do, or how do you overcome that? Even if you've got good ranking skills and good, blocking and tackling on all the fundamentals, how do you rise into, your space? Maybe it's the context or the metadata that you have surrounding you, but somebody
Yeah.
just punches my name in, you're going to find a bunch of, Asian women.
Yeah, and that's a great question. Well, one, I would say it's search intent. Whoever's typing in your name most likely is looking for you. They already have that going. So if you can support it with your expertise, like whatever it is that you're trying to attach yourself to, whether it's the surrealist artist or it's the business consultant, you want to be able to use your name dash who you are. So that's where it becomes very important with social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram, that in that name section you take advantage of your expertise, which will be a keyword, and I'll get into that in the next session, but that'll essentially be attached to your name. So it's Lynn Fisher dash, what do you want it to be?
But does that, but if somebody's just looking up Lynn Fisher and they're
You'd be
not doing
surprised if you're active and you're posting all the time, or you have a website where it's not just dead, but maybe you're like submitting blog content, you're trying to rank for more things. You have to think about Google like a leaderboard. And so it's whoever is most active is going to be getting the hits. So if the
okay,
Asian women are not active, you're going to rise to the top. But if they're active and they're trying to compete, that's when, again, it's leaderboard status. And so, one day you might be at the top, the next day you might not be. And it's because how active have you been?
gotcha. Great.
By the
Thank you.